Hey YouTube family, it's Tuck. It is still February 12th and it's still 2019. Snowing, sky's gray, looks nasty, and it's about to get nastier for you. Alright, you all have Google Earth, and well, you're aware that there's an app called Google Earth, and it goes in and according to popular belief, it accurately depicts the world in which we live. Aerial views, you can scan down, you can go street level, you can pretty much go anywhere you want with your phone. Okay? Keep that in mind. We'll get back to that. Alright? Alright. At Walmart. I live in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Alright? It's not a big city, it's a smaller city. But we have a Walmart. It's not a big Walmart, it's an average Walmart. Does average business. It's nothing spectacular. Do you know that the butcher shop in my Walmart alone butchers 6 to 9 cows every day? Let me break this down to you. When you go into the butcher shop, you go to the grocery store, you look down there, you see a hind quarter, right? A rump roast, say, right? It is the left hind quarter. All right, if there's two of them sitting next to each other, that means that's 2 cows. Because you can't have 2 left hindquarters on 1 cow. You got to have a left and a right, the hindquarters. All right? So every single eye round roast that you see, that's 1 cow. Every rump roast, every shoulder roast, that's 1 cow. Each one is another cow. All right? So they go through 6 to 9 a day at my Walmart. Then you got Shields, you got Wise, you got ShopRite, you got A&P, you got Superfresh, you got Shop and Bag, you got Giant, you got Super G, you got Food Lion, you got Myers, you got Kroger, you got, all right, all these stores across the country. All approximately doing the same. 6 to 9 cows every single day. Now, my question to you is, where the fuck are all these cows? Do you understand there's 365 days in a year? In order to butcher a cow with a hind quarter like that, it has to live for 2 years, 2.5, maybe 3 years. They have to raise a cow till it reaches maturity and then butcher it. Where the fuck are they keeping all these cows? Because that is millions and millions and millions and millions of cows every year. The ones that are born this year don't get butchered next year. They can't butcher them next year. They got to wait 2 years in order to butcher a baby cow. So if we're going through 100 millions of cows every year, what are we doing next year? What are we doing the year after that? It's not sustainable at all. Where the fuck is all the meat coming from? Because you can go on Google Earth and you show me a freaking whole country that's covered in cows. Because it would have to be covered in cows for us to last 1 year. 1 year. Do the math. How many freaking stores? Even if every store only did 1 cow a day. 1. There's not enough cows on the planet to do it. And be able to do it again next year because you're going to have to kill all the adults that are of breeding age in order to butcher that many cows in 1 year. It's simple as that. Now you could say it's crazy. Yeah, it might be. Go do the math. Look at it. 9 cows a day? A day? Every hindquarter is a separate cow. Every one. So if there's 10 hindquarters sitting in that counter, down in that slot at your grocery store where the hindquarters are, if there's 10 of them in there, guess what? That's 10 different cows sitting right there in front of you. It's not the whole cow, but shit, cows don't grow 2 hindquarters. They can't. That's what it is. The cows only have 2 hindquarters, the left and the right. They can't grow a whole nother set. That's it. So if there's 10 of them down there, that means 5 cows are sitting in that thing. 10 different quarters. There's 5 cows. Doesn't matter. You can't have another hindquarter from them 5 cows. That's it. You can have a shoulder up here. You can have that all over there. But still, you're representing 5 cows in that. Right there. That one store in your city. Think about how big the world is. How big they tell us it is. Where the fuck are all the cows? I've seen video of chickens. No, strike that. They're not chickens. I can't say they're chickens. It's a chicken thigh, hip, thigh, and leg. That's all it is. It has hoses going into it. It's just a leg and it does this. And there's hundreds of thousands of them lined up with hoses going into them, and the leg just pumps, flexing, working out. The leg's just working out, and they're pumping it full of steroids and all kinds of fake shit, and the leg's just doing this. That's it. In a big warehouse with chicken legs. That's it. It's just chicken legs. There's no chicken breast. There's no chicken wings. There's no chicken. It's a fucking leg. They exist. It's real. Now, I saw it in a picture. But there's one on 11th and Race in South Philadelphia. No, Center City. There's one at 11th and Race in Philadelphia. My buddy Adam Zangrelli worked there. He's the one that showed me. I said, what the fuck is that? What are you, an alien? What the fuck? What are you, into witchcraft? What the hell kind of shit is that? Well, it's real. Now it's on the internet. Now you can see it for yourself. There's factories making meat. Look at stem cell. Look what they could do. They're growing ears, a human ear on the back of a mouse. On a mouse's back, there's a human ear growing with stem cells. I think they're taking cow stem cells and making meat because there's nowhere on this planet. Cows need the same area that we need to live. All right? You can't put cows in the frozen tundra. They won't survive. There's nothing for them to graze on. You can't put them in the desert. They won't survive. There's nothing for them to graze on. So they absolutely have to live in the same climate that we live in. They have to. Their bodies have to. They can't eat. There's nothing to eat in the desert. There's nothing to eat in the frozen tundras. That means they have to share the same land that we live in. So if they share the same land we live in, that we occupy, why don't we see them? We drive down the road and we see 10 or 20 cows on the side of the road, and we're all moo out the window, and the cow's going, damn, that cow's doing pretty good. He's driving a freaking Nissan. No. Yeah, we're over there, we're looking at the freaking cows. Think about it. Them cows are there today. They're going to be there tomorrow. They're there next year too. They're pets. They're eye candy. They're eye candy because they've been there. I drove past the same cows in Washington, New Jersey, going back and forth from the Poconos to Philly, from the Poconos to Philly. I drove past the same group of cows so many times I don't even know what the hell's going on. But I'll tell you what, they weren't butchering them cows because they were the same cows. One of them wore a bell, just looked like the blue bonnet cow. All right? But think about that. Every shoulder that you see in your grocery store represents the left or the right of one cow. If you see 3 shoulders, at minimum 2 cows. Minimum, it has to be from 2 separate living cows. Bovine. 2. If you go there and you see 11 rump roasts, hey buddy, yeah, at minimum 6 cows. Minimum 6 cows. And we go into the grill, when they're on sale, there's 40 of them out there. And that's only when you walk into the store. Once those are sold, they put more out there. And then when they're sold, they put more out there. Think about how many cows that is. Go on Google Earth. Go around everywhere you want. You show me a farm the size of Texas, at least, with 500 million cows, and that'll get us through the week. It's not real. I don't even eat this shit no more. I'm eating beans. I'm eating yogurt. I'm eating other forms of protein. I'm scared of eggs. I'm scared. I'm afraid of them. I don't know what the hell they are. But I know I seen chicken legs doing this with no body attached to it. Something's not right. Something's rotten in Denmark. They're killing us. They're feeding us shit. We have no idea what it is. But I can tell you one thing. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you what it's not. It's not a freaking cow that was in a field somewhere eating grass. That's what it's not. It's not some freaking bovine that had to walk into a truck, take into a slaughterhouse, go in, have its throat slit, shanked so it gets exsanguinated, bleeds out, and then they butcher it up. That I know is not the truth. That can't be the truth at all. Not when we're talking about 300, 400,000 cows every day of the year on the East Coast. It's impossible. There's not enough land anywhere to have that many cows. Not on our map. Not on our bullshit globe. It's not there. There's no land for it. You could go around anywhere you want. Take your Google Earth and go around and find a farm big enough to hold 300,000 cattle. Find a place to hold. Find 10 places that is big enough to hold 10,000 cattle, 300,000 cattle, 500,000 cattle. Find 10 places that you can add them up and fit 500,000 cows. Because that's going to cover one day. That's one freaking day. One. There's 365 of them every year. Yeah. Think about that. Chew that up next time you're sitting down to eat a burger. Where'd that cow come from? Because it wasn't in a field somewhere. Because there ain't no fields for them anymore. It's true. Do the math. Think about it. Go to your Walmart and ask the butcher. Say you want to talk to the butcher. Hey, how many sides of beef come in here a day? How many do you butcher up? A side, a whole side, half a cow. How many of them you get a day? Ask them. Ask them how many sides of beef, full cows you think come into this Walmart every day. Do you butcher up? Just tell them you're doing a survey. You want to find out exactly how many cows are going in there. You're all for the beef council or some shit like that. And then extrapolate that out. How many Walmarts there are. How many ShopRites. How many A&Ps. How many Super Freshes. How many Giants. How many Super Gs. How many Shopping Bags. How many Super Kmarts. How many... everything. Think about them. And then you got your private butcher shops. It's absolutely impossible. It's impossible to have that many cows. Because they have to live where we live. They have to. Their bodies, they have to eat this shit that grows in our yard. If grass don't grow, they don't eat. If they don't eat, they don't get big. If they don't get big, we can't butcher them. So they got to be eaten. They're not out in the frozen desert and somebody's going outside and feeding them grain. Because their bodies are going to die. Their milk, they would never produce milk in the frozen tundra. Where's all the fucking milk come from? I've seen dairy farms. I've seen dairy farms with cows, and I know that that's real. I know they are real. Dairy farms are real. But they cannot meet the demand. Not the demand for milk. I go through a gallon every day. Every day, 7 days a week, a gallon of milk. Sometimes 5. I'll say I go through 5 gallons in a week. Absolutely impossible. 365 times 5. For me. Just me. 350 million people. Why is everybody becoming lactose intolerant? Because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Do you know that we are the only species on the planet that uses another creature's breast milk to nurture ourselves, to feed ourselves? You know that? Isn't that weird? Do you know that in the first year of a cow's life it can gain up to 600 pounds and the only thing they eat is milk? So you think that's healthy for us? If a cow can gain 600 pounds in a year from just drinking milk, you think it's healthy for us? I drink it. I do. I drink it. I drink a lot of milk. But I'll tell you what. Got on my grill. That's more that could be said about everybody I know. I got on my jibs. They're there. They're not rotten. I'm not overweight. But for the vast majority, milk is bad for us. Now, it's weird. It's just a correlation I picked up. I don't know how it has anything to do with the meat, but it's a fact. Cows gain 600 pounds in a year, and the only thing they take in is milk. It can't be healthy for us. I'm going to get away from that too. I stopped eating pork. I stopped eating chicken. I'm knocking the beef out now. Because that shit's scary. It scares the hell out of me. Think about it. Do some math. Ask your local grocery store how many cows come in here. How many cows do you guys butch up every day and put out in that cab, out in that case out there in the aisle? Ask them that. And think about the business that store does. And think about these giant superstores like Walmart, BJ's Wholesale, and Sam's Club, and Pace, and all these clubs, Costco. Think about how much they sell. Where are they? Where are they at when they're alive? I see where they're at when they're dead. They're in my grocery store. But where are they alive at? That's what I need to see. And they keep showing us this grainy photography from the 70s of all these cows at a slaughterhouse. Nothing from today. The only cows they showed us, the most recent that they were talking about cows is the mad cow disease back in the early 2000s or whenever the hell that was. And they showed the bulldozer pushing the cow and rolling the cow. It was alive, but it was like dizzy shit. And they were just pushing it out of the way. And PETA jumped in, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Oh, you're being unethical to that cow that's going to kill everybody. You know, that was the last time the cows were out in public view. Mad cow disease. Since then, the population has grown by 25%, maybe 35%. We're not seeing any cows anywhere. You could drive all over America. I've been all over America. I'm going damn near everywhere. We friggin' packed up and just took off. LSD. That'll get you there. Just a bunch of it, just all over the place, man. We went all over the place. And the farms don't meet the demand. They don't. The amount of cows cannot meet the demand of just the United States. The amount of cows on the planet, supposedly planet, can't meet the demand of just the east coast of the United States for 1 year. One fiscal year cannot happen. And then they need 2.5 to 3 years for a cow to grow to maturity to where it could be butchered. Unless we're all eating veal. But if we're all eating veal, explain how I'm getting a 23-ounce bone-in ribeye at Texas Roadhouse. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what it was. But it wasn't a cow in a field eating grass that was led to slaughter. That is a fact. It can't be. It's logic. That's simple. The numbers don't add up. Unless the population is not 7.3 billion, the population's under a billion, and we've been culled. We've been gentrified. We've been genderfied. And we have been systematically wiped off this planet. So there's less than 100 million people. Less than a billion, we'll say. Because they're trying to get us down to 500 million. Well, if they got us down to 500 million, then I think we could sustain the cows. We'd still have to cut back a lot if there were only 500 million people. There's 15 times that, supposedly. Supposedly 15 times the amount that is sustainable with cows. Think about it. Do research before you shove that burger in your mouth. Because this shit's sickening. I saw that chicken thing, but I had a needle in my arm at the time and it didn't matter to me. I don't have a needle in my arm anymore and it matters a lot. And everybody that didn't have a needle in their arm just doesn't matter to. You don't care? You don't care that your cheeseburger was a science experiment? What if the beef we're eating isn't beef, it's human? That's where the population's going. How about that? How do we know? Did you ever taste human? You know what it tastes like? Have you ever butchered a cow yourself and eaten it? Have you ever butchered a cow and a human being and tasted the difference? Me neither. I know one thing. There's got to be an explanation for all that freaking meat in that out in that case at Walmart. And a cow in a field isn't the answer. Maybe you'll find it for me. Because I haven't found the answer yet. But I did see a warehouse full of chicken legs. And that's a good start. It's tuck. It's the way I see it.